Now, the world experienced one of its worst climate-related disasters last year, from the floods in Pakistan to the droughts in the Horn of Africa and Europe's extreme weather temperatures. All of these severe weather conditions have been fueled by the ongoing climate crisis. One of the main culprits for the rise in greenhouse gas emissions is the extraction of fossil fuels, the same fuels that are used to generate energy. The question that arises is, can fossil fuel companies be forced to remove the polluting carbon from the atmosphere, and will it be financially feasible? In a recent study, researchers have argued that replacing carbon-emitting fuel would be a cheaper, fairer solution to the climate crisis. The research has been published in the journal Environmental Research Letters. It says that the principle of extended producer responsibility, a policy tool often used to deal with waste, should be extended to the oil, gas and coal industries. According to the research, the fossil fuel firms should use technologies that will capture the carbon from the air and bury it back in the ground. They believe that would be a cost-effective decarbonization strategy. This because the technology to capture and store carbon dioxide underground is advancing and is now technically feasible. They argue that the companies around the world that profit from extracting fossil fuels like oil, gas and coal should be paying for an equivalent quantity of carbon dioxide to be stored geologically, and this should be implemented as a condition of allowing them to operate. Under a carbon take-back obligation, all fossil fuels extracted or imported by countries would be offset by storing underground an amount of carbon dioxide that will be equivalent to what it generated by that fuel. And if phased in over time, it could be used to store 100% of emissions by the year 2050 to help the world to reach net zero. Unlike a carbon tax, which discourages the use of fossil fuels by making them more expensive, the authors of the paper say such a system would ensure the effect on climate was neutralized, and the cost of doing so would be a part of the cost of the fossil fuel production. Although carbon capture and storage technology is expensive at present, within a few decades it is likely to come down sharply in price. This is according to the paper. Moreover, this would also help in removing a lot of emissions from the atmosphere and to remove pressure from forests and vegetation that help in storing carbon. WION, now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.